just be cool, bro. They gonna start gravitating towards you. They gonna feel comfortable. Just start giving you game, and they not even knowing that they giving you game, bro. You can take this shit with you for a long time. So me working in the medical field, bro, it just taught me a lot about women, how women operate. Well, every woman, this shit true. These women, they have a work husband. On God, this shit true. They got a work husband. You know what I'm saying? When they get away, some of them be happy as hell to get away from their man, bro, because they really don't want to be with them. So they come to work to get the fuck away. Just from what I heard and what I've been around, all them type of women, bro. These women, they was from probably like 27 to 50. Nigga, they just like that type of stuff, bro. I remember one lady, she was in that motherfucker. She said, yeah, I'm married. She said, my husband take care of all the business. She said, I ain't got to worry about nothing. That's the only reason I'm with him. I swear to God.
Oh yeah, Diddy got a podcast.
So on this channel, we typically prioritize truth and telling the truth, even if it's uncomfortable. And even though my last, 10, 15 videos have been about the music industry, celebrities, P. Diddy, and all the stuff that people want to hear about, but what I don't want to do is make the mistake of building an audience that is looking for me to only talk about celebrities. We talk about a lot of things, a plethora of different topics on this channel, prioritizing truth, whether that be the black community, whether it be politics, whether it be racism, if you believe racism exists. But we also talk about things like relationships and modern day dating, which really intrigues me. And when I was 20 years old, I never forgot this. I was on a date one time with this girl, and she told me this little small thing, or it was small to her, but it was really big news to me because I had never heard of this before. We were talking, and in some one way or another, she was prompted to tell me. She was like, well, at least I get a free meal out of it. And I was like, what do you mean by that? She's like, well, I'll never do it to you, but if a guy wants to take me out on a date and I'm not feeling him, I'll at least give it a shot. And I just figure it's not a waste of my time because he's gonna pay for the food and the drinks, so at least I get a free meal and some drinks out of it. And I just stared at her in disbelief. I had never heard of that before. I was like, are you the only person? Like, do other women think like that? She said, yes, Demetrius, it's a common thing with women. We know that. We don't tell y'all, of course, but this is a very commonly known thing with women. I was like, I've never heard of that in my life. That's like crazy, bro. Like, that's really messed up. Anyways, small things like that I started to learn that was teaching me that the dating field wasn't exactly the way we were taught to believe. And by we, I mean like we as kids, we as young men, young boys, we're taught to believe that if we're attractive or if we present ourselves well, we're respectful, kind, and if the girl is single, we have a shot at getting her. And that's just not how the dating world works in real life. Like, you have your exceptions, but for the most part, that's not how it works. Anyways, we're going to react today to this guy who was talking about a conversation he had with this woman at his job, and his experience at this job, and how it's taught him a lot about women, about dating, and about life. For the most part, things that he didn't know beforehand, right? But before we go into the video, I say, hey, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I would really, really appreciate it. Please hit the like button.
So yeah, though, so I learned a little game. I learned how the world work a little bit because I was working at this. Y'all already know I was working at the elderly folks' home, and this woman named Tara, bro. I'd never forget her name was Tara. Cool chick. She had a little heart tattoo out here. You know, she was kind of, you can tell she was kind of from there. She was kind of, you can tell she was from the hood. And she had a sister that worked there named TK. TK was over the kitchen. TK used to try to hook me up with her daughter. Her daughter fine as hell. So I remember Tara, bro, one day we was sitting up in her, cool chick though. We was sitting up in a break room because we used to all take our break around the same time. And she said, we just used to talk, man. She was just, and one thing about me, bro, I don't know what it is about me, bro. Older women, I always seem to gravitate towards me because I don't talk that much, bro, when I'm around women. Like, I'm real quiet, I'm really cool, calm, and collected. And one thing about an older woman is a young guy, from my experience, they'll see the greatness in you before younger women see the greatness in you. Like, they'll want to fuck with you before a younger woman, a woman your age, want to fuck with you. It's like that, though. I don't know what it is about older women. Like, they'll want to take you under their wing, and this is what I mean by take you under their wing. Like, they'll want to fuck with you and give you shit more than a young woman will. That's the crazy thing about these older women. Like, they want to fuck with you way more than young women. It just always been my experience in life.
Just real quick, brother, hate to break it to you. I don't really hate to break it to you. I actually love to break this to you. It's not really that complicated, bro. What I've learned, and this is going to sound harsh, I'm not a mean or a hateful person, but I'm going to keep it a buck, bro. it's not because they just want to look out for you. It's because the way in which the young women are behaving right now is the same way a lot of those women that are now older, it's the same way they behaved when they was younger. They now don't have very many options, and they're looking at a young, attractive male that they're working with, and they look at you as an opportunity to be able to get something out of you, bro. Because if they was 20 years younger, 9 times out of 10, they would not be giving you the time of the day. You know why? Because they have unlimited options. That's just how the world works. This is one of the things I had to learn on my own because nobody taught me this. I didn't grow up with a dad. My mama didn't put me on game. My cousins didn't put me on game. I had to learn this on my own. The way the world works is the older a woman gets, the less options she has, and they're on a biological clock, right? By a certain age, it's a risk. It's a health risk for women to have children. So they need to prioritize having children by a certain age. And the older woman gets, the less options she has. For a man, the older you get, as long as you have some sort of status, you don't have to be rich or anything, but if you're doing fairly well for yourself, the older you get, the more options you have. As a man, that's just the way it works. Because men are always going to be attracted to younger women. Women are always going to be attracted to older men. That's the way it works.
But back on the subject, I remember she was telling me, I used to hear them talk about men all the time. I used to sit up in the break rooms and hear all the women. They come in there. This shit was like a fucking gathering. All the women used to come in there and talk about men. And I remember her told me one day I was sitting there by myself with man. She said, I was going to CDL school. She said, I had a dude that drove trucks. She said, he was making a lot of money. She said, he just wasn't for me. And I kept letting him know in other ways that I didn't want to be with him. He just wasn't getting it. So one day I just finally packed up and left. I said, damn, this cold-blooded, bro. They taught me. Nigga, if it was true what she was saying, nigga, money can't keep no woman, bro. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have some type of, she gotta be attracted to you outside of money. Like, money can get a woman, but it ain't gonna keep her, bro. I used to hear the women in that motherfucker just talk about, they used to gather up and talk about the type of dudes they like. Women, and these was low-class women, like they was broke, bro. That's just what they was, bro. Like, I used to hear them all the time come up in there talking about how they struggling with their business. I remember one lady, she was damn near crying, bro, because the day she got paid, all her money was gone. She had no more money for the week. I was like, damn. But working in that environment, it was in the medical field, just working in that environment, it taught me a lot about women, bro. Just how women think, how women operate. Everything ain't what it seems. Some of these women, they be driving all the latest cars, but they be broke as hell. And there's no disrespect to them beautiful women. They beautiful as hell, but they broke.
The way you say beautiful, I feel like he's definitely from the South. He's probably from Memphis. I don't know, I'm stereotyping him, but anyways, there's a few things there that he said that, once again, it's eye-opening, and it's something, I'm 30 years old, it's things that we are learning for the first time in our life as young men, because, once again, we weren't put on game early on in our childhood or coming up as teenagers, bro. First and foremost, this is something I've talked about on the channel. I have a video, and hopefully, if I can remember, I'll link it here, where I talk about how I have a car right now. I have a Honda Civic with 250,000 miles on it. It's not in the best condition as far as, like, its appearance. It's not terrible. But I prioritize financial literacy. And what I've learned in my 30 years on this planet, especially in my 20s, is that people with the nicest cars almost always have the least amount of money. They're struggling. Like I talked about in that video, I have a buddy, which I'm not bashing him, I'm not going to say who it is, who has one of the nicest cars I know. But I often give him money to help him be able to pay his bills and make that car payment. Like, I don't do it a lot. He always pays me back, but that's just real. What I've learned a lot of times is that's true. The reason he got that car was to impress women. I know that for a fact. And I know a lot of women, I be looking at a lot of women like in college and fresh out of college driving the new cars when they just got out of college and they just got accepted into their new job. It's because, if I don't want to get this stat wrong, but I believe women are like the #1 leader in like college debt. Also, more women go to college. Yes, that's true. And when he talked about how she broke up with the dude, but the part that really stood out to me was when he said she was sending him signs. Why don't you just flat out tell him? What I've learned about women, not all women, of course you have your exceptions to the rule, but what I've learned about a lot of women is that they will say things and beat around the bush a lot. They can just flat out tell you, but they'd rather be passive aggressive and send you all these hints and expect you to read their minds. We are not mind readers. We are literally not mind readers. And you just up and left the dude and he's supposed to know that you didn't like him? He probably thinking everything's going fine. but this is the world we live in.
But it just taught me a lot, bro. They used to all gather around, and women like men with status. They used to talk about all the guys who owned clubs in Memphis, who clubs they was going to. They used to sit and talk about all the guys who had like a tree serving, just had businesses and shit going on. That's what the fuck women like, bro. So it just taught me to just being around it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just taught me what women like, how women operate. Nigga, money ain't gonna keep no broad. And women like a smooth, low-key ass nigga that's getting his money. That's what women like, fool. That's just what, from what I heard and what I've been around all them type of women, bro. These women, they was from probably like 27 to 50. Nigga, they just like that type of stuff, bro. I remember one lady, she was in that motherfucker. She said, yeah, I'm married. She said, my husband take care of all the business. She said, I ain't got to worry about nothing. That's the only reason I'm with him.
That's called hypergamy. It's called hypergamy. Women typically date up. Women date for status, right? That's just how it works, bro. Once again, but as men, we're taught, be a good person, be kind. But when you look at the men that women actually go for, it's typically men that are not kind. They don't care about that. They tell you, don't listen to what a woman tells you. Pay attention to what a woman does. Period. Every single time, that's what you should do. Because she's going to tell you everything that sounds good. But her actions are going to be the complete opposite. Not all women. But of course you have your exceptions. I want to keep repeating that. But that's just flat out facts.
Swear to God, cause like this shit was a cold it was a cold game, but I'm glad that I was in that environment, bro. Because when you work with a lot of women, don't even say, if you a young nigga, if you work with a lot of women, just go up in the break room. Don't even say shit. Just start listening, bro. You gotta be someone with a tree. Can't be no ugly ass young nigga though. Don't be weird either. Just be cool, bro. They gonna start gravitating towards you. They gonna feel comfortable. Just start giving you game, and they not even knowing that they giving you game, bro. You can take this shit with you for a long time. So me working in the medical field, bro, it just taught me a lot about women, how women operate. Well, every woman, this shit true. These women, they have a work husband. On God, this shit true. They got a work husband. You know what I'm saying? When they get away, some of them be happy as hell to get away from their man, bro, because they really don't want to be with them. So they come to work to get the fuck away. You know what I'm saying? It's just the truth. So I'm thankful that I was able to work in that environment, because it just showed me what's going on up out here, bro. You know what I'm saying? There's no disrespect to those women, because women gonna be women. But I remember Tara told me this shit. Shout out to Sis Taylor. I think Taylor still worked at this Sis, man. You know, just working in that environment, bro, it put me on game about women, and I added this shit to my collection. I never forget some of the shit. Just hearing them talk about different men, how they break down. They would put men in groups. They like, oh, he broke, I can't fuck with him, and they was broke. You know what I'm saying? That's just the truth. And they was talking about the niggas who they glorified, the nigga with status, street niggas, the niggas who had jewelry. Like I say, niggas who own clubs in Memphis, own restaurants, own tree business, HVAC. They was talking about niggas like that. And the niggas who wouldn't have shit going on, they was the niggas who some of them was going back home to, but they really didn't fuck with them. Man, get on your shit, bro. That's what they taught me. Get on your shit, stand on your shit, and be a man of morals. Be a man of having something going on for yourself. Be a man of standing on what you believe in. Be a man that a bitch can come into your life, you can change hers. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of position that you want to be in, bro. You know what I'm saying? If you wanna make her stop working and be like, hey baby, you can work with me, you can be my assistant. That's the type of power that you want to have. Or even if you work in a job, bro, be able to have stability within yourself. Be able to have your own house. Be able to have your own car if she was to leave today. Or have a world for her to have something to bring her into. Have your own crib. Have your own car. Be fly. What I mean by be fly, bro, this is just the truth, bro. Everybody attracted to designer things, you know what I'm saying? Put that shit on, bro. Talk your shit. Ride your shit. Be clean, bro. This is the type of life you want to live, bro. And I'm not telling you that it's going to happen overnight, because it's not. But put yourself in a position to while we young, bro, so when we get older, it won't be a problem. But yeah, bro, working in healthcare put me on game about women, bro. I ain't going to lie, gang.
First and foremost, let me say, he probably had no idea. His video is sitting at about 50,000 views, and it might be the biggest video on his channel. Relatively small YouTuber, and that's no shade. Like, I hope his channel grows exponentially. And by the way, his name is Kevin Moore. I'm gonna link his video in the description if I can speak. And I want to show him some love. But look, this is very important to talk about. This is why it's very important, because I mostly agree with what he just said, but that is not what men should be prioritizing. First and foremost, he just explained the type of women that men should avoid. Young men, especially young black men, avoid these type of women. Of course, you won't always know what their true purpose or what their true agenda is. They could be faking it. You don't know. But try your best to avoid women who prioritize these sorts of things. Get a woman who cares about God, truly cares about God, by her actions, not by what she tells you, right? Trying to impress people with designers and fly cars, and no, you will find yourself in debt and you'll be sad, and you just a part of the same game that they playing. Young men, this is the hardest part. I'm telling myself this is as well at 30 years old. Prioritize self. Correction. Yes, prioritize self, but what I mean is, try your best to live life by the way in which God says. Get your head in the scriptures, the holy scriptures. Live the life as a man of morals, like he just said. But you can't be a man of morals and also prioritizing this high materialistic lifestyle, because that comes with compromise. You don't want to compromise your morals to be able to impress these women. That's not how that works. I learned something really hard. This was a hard life lesson for me. I thought when I was like 22 that I would be able to find my girlfriend in church. And what I learned is, I mean, we've all heard the saying like women in church sometimes be the least you can trust, and they sometimes be the freakiest, and they go to the club the most. I've heard those things. But let me tell you, it's true. A lot of women in church, you feel like you're escaping the world when you go to church to try to find you a woman that follows God. But even those women still have not all of them, but a lot of them still have their natural ways. They're prioritized, even if they're dating a guy that's in the church, they want a guy in the church that's of status. They want a guy in the church who's a quote unquote bad boy by biblical standards, right? Like they don't want the goody guy unless he has status. And even then they might not even be happy with him, but that's who they're going to go for, right? I had to learn that the hard way. I'm going to church thinking like, once again, if I present myself well and I'm well spoken and I'm polite and I'm kind, and I've never been really this shy person, I've always had courage to approach women. I'm thinking if I ask them out on a date, I got a good shot. And you realize the type of men that they going for a lot of times are the street dudes. A lot of times are the guys who I used to think that women wanted to stay away from a guy who was quick to do illegal activity, who was quick to do things that was not of morals. A lot of women don't care about that. That's a fact, bro. That's a fact. And you got to hear it now in your life before you turn 30 or 40. And you have to learn the hard way, or you have to learn after you have a kid with a woman that, man, she not who I thought she was. Now, you got to look out for these sorts of things for real. Like, I'm so passionate about this that I'm stuttering because no one told me this. I had to learn this on my, I kept thinking like, oh, she's just like that. Next girl, she's just like that. I'm 25, 26 years old. Okay, I look back over the last 4 years, bro, I'm starting to see a trend, a pattern. This is the nature of a woman, hypergamous. Like straight up. Like we gotta be realistic with ourselves. We gotta prioritize living, focusing on ourselves, being a better person, being a better man, right? Building up your career, focusing on yourself, and you'll attract the type of woman that's supposed to come to you. But that's hard sometimes because we humans too, and we want to feel loved, we want to feel valued, we want to feel like we're a part of the larger society. And the truth of the matter is, if you're trying to be a part of the larger society, you're setting yourself up for failure. Shout out to the content creator. This was real, man. Hop in the comment section. I'd love to know your thoughts, men and women. I'd love to know what you think about this. Do you agree with the gentleman? Do you agree with me? What's your thoughts? My name is Demetrius, man. I go by Didi. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Until next time. Peace.
Oh, yeah, Didi got a podcast.